food that requires fortification. For today's event, those food are, in this case, wheat flour, vegetable oil, and salts. And we believe this is not the end to improve food fortification. The regulations as they stand provide prohibition measures. They specify what should be done when we advertise food. They are very clear on what to put on the label. They are also giving a lot of responsibility to the establishments that are licensed to manufacture, to process, and sell food. We are also encouraged, Chair of the FSQA, that the regulations are also very clear on enforcement measures. FAO is grateful that the scientific community, industry, consumers, and other relevant parties came together and showed a strong commitment towards eradicating all forms of malnutrition. It is worthy to appreciate that the Gambia Standards Bureau had already paid attention to fortification of food. They had looked at edible fats, oil, flour, as well as salt in the past. So this is an additional way of appreciating the work that was previously done. Madam Vice President, Governors, Honorable Ministers, the FSQA Board, I can only say on behalf of the FAO that the impact of food fortification on the nutritional status of target populations must be monitored. Corrective action should be taken as required. Therefore, if these regulations are enforced and effective regulatory controls are conducted, consumers will be protected. And consumers are you and I. And in protecting the consumers, we will make sure that they will purchase what is good and nutritionally adequate. Ladies and gentlemen, whilst I thank you for your attention and for this opportunity to be part of this event today, a very high-level event, I want to really appreciate the presence of the ministers, and I hope it is not deliberate on the part of the Madam Vice President that she only invited the Minister for Women and the Minister for Agriculture, but I hope that other ministers are watching and they are also committed to the path that we are following. Your Excellency, Madam Vice President, I wish to end by thanking the European Union delegation for providing the resources to the FAO to be able to finalize the food fortification regulations. FAO appreciates the leadership that has been provided by you, Director General, and the board of the FSQA, as well as the many stakeholders that have been referred to. For us as the FAO, we find it that it is a privilege that we are in this position on behalf of all other UN agencies to thank the government of the Gambia for the excellent relations with the United Nations. I also take this opportunity, Madam Vice President, and the board of the FSQA to reaffirm once more FAO's commitment to serving the people of the Gambia. I thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Madam Rampedi, FAO representative in the Gambia. Why are you surprised that the Vice President is calling on women? You know, I think the women are the dominant leaders nowadays, and that's a fact that us men have to find a way of accepting. Actually, she talked on the micronutrient deficiencies, the impact or the challenges of micronutrient. I think I mentioned this in the beginning, that the Gambia is one of the countries that are highly challenged when it comes to micronutrient deficiencies. And the work on remedying micronutrient deficiencies has started a long time ago. I recall as far back as 20 years, 30 years ago, there was a nutritional project within the MRC, and they were even doing what is called nutritional rehabilitation for infants. And that's the first time that I came across two ways of fortifying food. I was a researcher in that team, and we are actually looking at ways of fortifying infant foods. And we were using Nestle. I think all of you know the company. It's a big company, known for infant foods. That is Nestle. So we were working with them at the time, trying to fortify biscuits and to fortify some oats. And this was used to actually rehabilitate severely malnourished infants. So it's very key. And I'm sure the impact of what we are doing today, will be felt very much so, tangibly and intangibly, within our population in the coming years. Also, we couldn't have done this without partnerships. You are right, Madam Rampedi. Partnership is key. No one is an island, and that's why we have to depend on each other's strengths and also resources to be able to do things together. Enforcement measures are crucial. That is why we need high-level commitment in the regulation, that is enforcement, because you are dealing directly with the food business operators and also key stakeholders when it comes to food fortification. Of course, it brings consumer well-being, and I felt that you have ably represented the other UN agencies that are not here. And of course, we join you to thank the European Union immensely for providing the funds to be able to do this and to be able to reach here. Without much further ado, I would like to, without fun, in as much as we are serious in our work and everything, but there have to be fun, and it's about time we have a small interlude and have some fun. I believe that my team is ready. Ladies and gentlemen, let's invite the Bright Star Entertainment Group.
Duma ko nangu. Inga hamna di neka di lep lasana bangali jox ma banana lasana bangali jox ma apple lasana bangali jox ma everything te do ma fay suma xaliss way tapandara su ñewé tay he will pay me dama try ma def fake call su ma def fake call ma traité ko dina ma fay suma xaliss dina la diñu ha ñi man ko ci xol allo Mamadou yow mënuloo bàyyi lépp dama bëgg nga bàyyi lépp ma nga suma applu nanguloo ma fay nga dama bëgg Mamadou nga taxaw ma waxal la soo ma feetuma xaalis soo rombe su ma la doore rek di nga xam pay my money nonsense soo ma feet naa la door ba nga xam ne kii du
waa kaay xam naa ne lii yëpp gaaruwaal la am sa man maa ngi am sa xaalis rek
sorry dama doon def fekk su ma deful lii dama fay suma xaalis soo lebee da ngaa fay apple yëpp dafa jeex dama jaay si xa yëpp mu jeex
waaw man ku jaar
waati sonka mu nekketa dang ko lan don robe fala hey na loite ite fon tapandara Allah sana why you guys you don't even pass by my shop and buy my food VP fon ka tamit na bunda da don ka nyanka taw wa famal
correct you see I have been waiting for this question a long time ago. You know why I stopped coming to your shop? Because you don't sell fortified food. Listen, haven't you heard about the latest? Tell him the latest.
Latest iPhone 12 Pro Max.
Hey, the latest is Ken Waruta Jai Legabun fortified.
Last it was
Wabi amda, muy iodine, muy vitamin A, muy iron. fu mu ne nii loi boobu mooy ñëw ñoom foring ak oil be it flour everything salt yëpp dañ ko war a fortify te you see some of the benefits of these fortified foods mooy you know it prevents wasting stunting ak underweight so these are
We have been dying.
slowly.
All because of your food. No.
Hey!
Last. This is the reason why we are all suffering.
Tell him.
Huh? Look at you, Tapanda. Stunted growth. Tapan, Lasana Bangari, wasted. And Kujali, underweight.
Kujali, come. Wow, Jarud, hey. Just come. Now listen. Yo. You cannot always tell by looking, Lasana. How can you just look at me and say stunted growth? Some people are born like this. It's natural. It's okay. You see, let me tell you. Iron, iodine, vitamin A, these things are very important to the human body. Damalens and Baram, let me tell you some of the benefits. One, Damangen. It improves the eyesight, so vision. And secondly, the mental brightness of the mental intelligence of children, everybody, they've got to improve. So, but in a nutshell, just to cut the long story short, all these things combined, helps to regulate and maintain the human function. It's good for your, ebalajato or betiatal.
Especially the impact and development in our bodies.
You cannot speak English. Just walk us all of it. I can understand.
This is the reason why Kujali, especially that vision and intelligence, this is the reason why he lacks intelligence.
No.
Secondly, he has no vision and mission. You see, no, Kujali, let's call a spade a spade. Exactly. This is the reason why when you order for a plate of rice, one plate of rice, he gives you 50 plates of rice. Hey! Instead of giving you a spoon to eat the rice, he gives you a cup.
My name. Please fortify your food, please.
45. Hey, last.
Money 45.
Since I was born, Vitamin A. Hey, tomorrow long, I will not fortify my food. I will not fortify tomorrow, but I will fortify.
Okay. It is not fortify. And failure to do this can lead you into a serious crime. In fact, it's a crime. There is a law put in place. A word for a wise nut is quite sufficient. Wassalam. Parenakyo. Why? Amen. Gande. 45.
Last night I saw in my dream food fortification for all. Last night I saw in my dream food fortification for all. Last night I saw in my dream food fortification for all. Last night I saw in my dream food fortification for all. But they am na ñoo xam ne ñu ngi añ di reer waaye ndax ñu ngi koy seetlu. But they am na ñoo xam ne ñu ngi añ di reer waaye ndax ñoom ñu ngi koy seetlu. Na ñépp déglu luy jot na mar ñu tiisoon bi metti na. Na ñépp déglu ndax luy jot na mar ñu tiisoon bi metti na. 45 ne ñu fortify suñu ñam yi. Fortify, 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 ne ñu fortify suñu ñam yi. Last night I saw in my dream food fortification for all. Last night I saw in my dream food fortification for all. Last night I saw in my dream food fortification for all. Last night I saw in my dream food fortification for all.
When the nutritional gap fails to fill, deficiencies tend to take a toll. We all know that eating a healthy diet is essential for every breathing being. But everything in excess is exceedingly exterminating. We all need food, but mind you, not just any food. We need a fortress of fortified food. Fortificants like calcium and potassium, magnesium and manganese, iron and copper, iodine and vitamins A and B. Let the zinc sink into the body and fight all the bacteria and viruses, for it seeks to eliminate malnutrition and nutritional deficiencies. Nutritional deficiencies affect mostly women and children. So we must collectively promote the consumption of food rich in micronutrients or enriched through fortification. When a food is fortified, it does not change its taste, its texture, nor its appearance. Wide-scale production of fortified food will help to reduce the nutritional problems of our country. The responsibilities of food processing, manufacturing, importing, trading, and distributing establishments must comply with all the regulations of the Food Safety and Regulations Authority and other relevant laws and standards, because we will grow, nourish, and sustain. Fortification for all.
Last night I saw in my dream food fortification for all. Last night I saw in my dream food fortification for all. Last night I saw in my dream food fortification for all. Last night I saw in my dream food fortification for all. Fortification, everybody.
More food fortification.
FSQA.
More food fortification.
FSQA.
More food fortification.
FAO.
More food fortification. More food fortification. More food fortification.
More fortification. Healthy food for healthy life. Healthy food for healthy growth.
More food fortification.
FSQA. Wow, wow.
More food fortification.
More.
More food fortification.
Everybody say more.
More food fortification.
Yeah.
More food fortification.
Jarama.
More food fortification.
FSQA.
Food fortification.
FAO.
More food fortification.
Whoa.
More food fortification. More food fortification.
Kujali fortify your food. Kujali sell fortified food.
Wow. What a performance. I'm sure you feel it the way I feel it. You know. And I'm just surprised with the powerful, poetic message. And Madame Bramperi, I told you, women are actually taking over. So, thank you, Bright Star Entertainment. So next on the agenda, I guess you all enjoyed that. You know, can we once more just give a round of applause for these young people? Thank you. Now, push has come to shove. Without wasting more time, I would like to call on Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, to give the launching statement on behalf of the President of the Republic of the Gambia, who is unable to be with us today, but ably represented by Her Excellency. Can we stand up for the Vice President, please?
Thank you very much. Please take your seat, please. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. The chairperson, I am here on behalf of His Excellency to read this statement. He is unable to be here because of a lot of responsibilities and issues that he has to address, and I am honorably delegated to read this statement on his behalf. Mr. Chairperson, Your Excellency, the Vice President, Dr. Aissatou Touré, Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, the Chief Justice of the Republic of the Gambia, Honorable Cabinet Ministers, members of the National Assembly, service chiefs, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, United Nations Resident Coordinator, European Union Country Delegate, FAO Country Representative, heads and representatives of United Nations agencies, permanent secretaries, heads of department and agencies, FSQA Board of Directors, senior government officials, private sector and civil society representatives, food business operators, members of the media, members of the Bright Star team on food fortification, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Micronutrient deficiencies form an important global health issue, with malnutrition affecting key development outcomes, including poor physical and mental development in children, vulnerability or exacerbation of disease, mental retardation, blindness, and general losses in productivity and potential. Unlike energy protein undernourishment, the health impacts of micronutrient deficiency are not always acutely visible. It is therefore sometimes termed hidden hunger. The World Health Organization estimates that more than 2 billion people suffer from micronutrient deficiency globally. Although any individual can experience micronutrient deficiency, pregnant women and children are at greatest risk of developing deficiencies. In the Gambia, it has been established scientifically that micronutrients deficiency is widely prevalent among women and children. This critical problem can be best addressed through a national food fortification program, which will encompass the enforcement of mandatory fortification of key essential food products with the right micronutrients. This approach will ensure that our population will easily access and consume foods enriched with the target micronutrients. The Gambia has committed to improve nutrition by endorsing the 2014 Rome Declaration on Nutrition outcomes of the Second International Conference on Nutrition, that's the ICN2. Furthermore, my country has endorsed the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, especially SDG 2, and hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture, and should take all the necessary actions for its implementation. In declaring the period of 2016 to 2025 as the UN Decade of Action on Nutrition, the United Nations General Assembly placed nutrition at the heart of sustainable development, recognizing that coherent policies and actions across the food system are needed to deliver healthy diets and help achieve the 2030 goal of ending malnutrition in all its forms. The Gambia is among few countries in Africa with a modernized food safety control system. The country now has a unitary food safety agency that is responsible for all food safety matters in the Gambia. This modern system allows for effective and efficient control of food safety issues in the entire food value chain. Food safety is particularly important for the protection of the health and safety of the population, as we are what we eat, but food safety control is also very critical in the facilitation of trade, both nationally and internationally. In line with the National Development Plan 2018 to 2021, the government of the Gambia, through the FSQA, continues to deliver and provide a strong regulatory regime for food safety in the Gambia. The authority is present in all regions of the country, in all official border entry points where food entering the Gambia is properly controlled to allow safe food into our markets. In 2019, the UN Secretary General called for a food systems summit and engagement process to unleash the power of food and deliver progress on all 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals. Later this year, the Gambia will join other nations to reflect and elaborate food and nutrition security at the Food Summit system. The government of the Gambia established the Food Safety and Quality Authority with the sole mandate to officially control the safety and quality of food and animal feed, whether locally produced, imported, exported, distributed, and sold in the Gambia. The work of the authority is expected to contribute to consumer health and safety, the facilitation of trade and control of fraudulent and deceptive food marketing, labeling, and advertisement practices. The authority is placed under the Office of the Vice President for reporting and oversight function, and this is to place emphasis on the significance and importance of food safety and quality to the health of the populace. The authority has fostered strong partnership with national and international organizations, including Food and Nutrition Organization of the United Nations. Your Excellency, the Vice President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Food Safety and Quality Authority, through support from the FAO, European Union funded project, improving food security and nutrition in the Gambia through food fortification, developed a technical regulation that aims to address the issues of micronutrient deficiencies in the Gambia, particularly in the Central River region and the North Bank region. The regulation, which is based on national and international standards, was developed through a stakeholder consultative process and was published in the Government Gazette in 2020. This piece of legislation will ensure the mandatory fortification of 3 food products, namely wheat flour, edible oil, and food-grade salt with iron, folic acid, vitamin A, and iodine, respectively. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take this opportunity to encourage the media to disseminate information on food safety, quality, and nutrition to all stakeholders, to facilitate behavioral change among our population for a better health outcome. I wish to emphasize government support for the effective enforcement of this regulation. On behalf of my government, I wish to express sincere and profound gratitude to the European Union and the FAO. My government is aware of the support the EU and FAO have accorded to the Food Safety and Quality Authority since its establishment, from the development of inspection protocols for fish and fishery products to this new regime of mandatory food fortification program, among others. We are appreciative of this continuous support. Let me also convey my heartfelt appreciation to Her Excellency, the Vice President Toure, and organizations such as the National Nutrition Agency, the Gambia Standards Bureau, and all organizations and individuals who have made the finalization of the Food Fortification Regulation 2020 possible. Mr. Chair, Your Excellency, the Vice President, distinguished dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, I now take the honor to officially launch the Food Fortification Regulation 2020 and a new regime of a mandatory food fortification program of 3 highly consumed foods in the Gambia under my leadership through the competent authority, the Food Safety and Quality Authority of the Gambia. With the launch of this regulation, I am urging producers, manufacturers, importers, and distributors of wheat flour, edible oil, and salt to comply with the requirements of the regulation to improve the micronutrient status of the Gambian population and, by extension, protecting the health of the consumers. I am equally urging consumers of these foods to demand for safe and nutritious food by making informed choices. Before concluding, I would solicit that the government of the Gambia and our partners consolidate a strong and united food safety and security systems position for the upcoming food summit in Rome. I thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you very much. Which you had to cut short and come and attend this. We cannot thank you enough. I think you claim that we are under you, but it seems it's the opposite. You always have placed yourself under us, because whenever we need you, whenever we ask for you, you always make yourself available and you make yourself accessible.